In the book Meditations, Marcus Aurelius says that, like a true philosopher, he considers offenses which are committed through desire to be more blamable than those which are committed through anger. For he who is excited by anger seems to turn away from reason with a certain pain and unconscious contraction. But he who offends through desire, being overpowered by pleasure, seems to be in a manner more intemperate and more womanish in his offenses. Rightly then, he said that the offense which is committed with pleasure is more blamable than that which is committed. This distinction is not just ancient moral theory. It is vividly animated in Kentaro Miura's Berserk. Guts and Griffith embody Aurelius's category so precisely. Guts is anger incarnate. From the moment of his birth beneath a hanged corpse, he is wronged, sold as a child, betrayed by those he trusts, forced onto brutal battlefields before he can spell his own name. His violence, therefore, feels like scar tissue, an ugly, necessary shell grown over raw pain. When Aurelius spoke of anger, he imagined a soul contracting in pain, lashing out not to dominate, but to survive. That is guts. And the Stoic framework offers an unexpected compassion here. If anger is a fever, then beneath the fever there may still be health. Guts's rage hints at a buried capacity for tenderness, one glimpsed in his bond with Casca, or in the faint awe with which he watches a sunrise after a night of slaughter. Resolve the pain, and the man might be healed. Griffith is different. Poised, almost translucent in his poise, he commits his great sin, the eclipse, not in a spasm of pain, but in a moment of perfect, icy clarity. He chooses to sacrifice the band of the hawk because that is the price of his dream. My own kingdom, my castle upon the hill. The deed is premeditated, almost surgical. Here we meet the core of Aurelius's warning. The man who murders from pleasure, who feeds his ego, carves the world into a throne, has not been overwhelmed by passion. He has invited it in, set a table, poured wine, and called it virtue. He is therefore more culpable than the one who erupts in rage. Griffith does not merely fall. He descends, step by step, candle by candle, into the darkness he himself has lit. Now shift the lens to us, 21st century Earth. We still punish the crimes of anger with visible severity: assault, public outburst, vandalism. The fist meets handcuffs quickly. Yet the crimes of pleasure, quiet land grabs, exploitative algorithms, speculative housing bubbles, often sail under banners of innovation, ambition, or simply doing business. Consider the luxury developer who levels an urban forest to erect a $10 million mansion. Local ecosystems collapse. Rent spikes force families to move. But the ribbon-cutting ceremony is live-streamed with champagne flutes and hashtags. Because the harm unfolds slowly, spread over supply chains, interest rates, generations, we seldom trace the dotted line back to the single desire: I want my name on the skyline. Pleasure-driven wrongdoing masquerades as refinement. It wears cologne. It shakes your hand and says, nothing personal, only business. And because the blade is slow, we do not notice the bleeding until we are weak. The Stoics spoke of time as a moving river. Anger is a boulder hurled into the stream, sudden, loud, obvious. Desire is a poison poured upstream. By the time the village drinks, the culprit is miles away, smiling. This is why we find it so hard to hold desire accountable. Its consequences are diffused, deniable, even normalized. We teach our children to admire ambition, to chase billion-dollar valuations, to disrupt first and apologize later, if ever. Yet beneath every collapsed housing market, every polluted estuary, every data-mined teenager, we find the same quiet creed. My gain outweighs your loss. Griffith's talons are everywhere. Only the brand on our neck is invisible. So what do we do, living among slow knives? First, we adopt the Stoic practice of critical self-examination. Before embarking on a dream, ask hard questions. If I succeed exactly as planned, who else pays the price? Will this action enhance or erode the common good over 10, 50, 100 years? Am I willing to be transparent about the full cost, not just in dollars, but in soil, in sweat, in human attention? This is a bandage, not a cure, but even a bandage can prevent an infection. By scrutinizing our motives, we at least refuse to lie to ourselves. The deeper work is preventive. How can we curb ourselves from having selfish desires in the first place? I believe the answer lies in raising our awareness to higher states of vibration. So perhaps we can all start off by simply being a little grateful for being able to experience this life.